So as an uncle, you don't want to believe that, right? You don't want to hear what the experts have to say, especially when it comes to the family. And, I would ponder on, what's going on, what's wrong, what's the disconnect with her and learning in school. And, it would wrap my brain at night. And there would be days where we play games together, right? And she'd understand complicated narrative stories. She'd understand the achievement systems. And I'm like, well, wait a second. You can't do your schoolwork, but here it is on an Xbox 360 or PlayStation. You're able to understand all these different dynamics that's going on. So for me as an uncle, I said, well, okay, let's try a different approach with learning. So I came up with CelleC Games at the time. So when you look at CelleC Games and who we are a division of a company of several divisions. We have CG Solutions Group, Global Ventures, as well as Black Star Games. Primarily, CelleC Games itself focuses on educational games for K through 12, based off of Common Core. And Common Core is the standards that the Department of Education has now came about to normalize or standardize all 50 states. So currently right now, if you go and you move from New York to Florida, Florida to California, and you have a child in 3rd grade, they'll be learning 3 different subjects or 3 different content, as well as 3 different content levels in all 3 states. So what the Department of Education is doing, they want to normalize and standardize education across all 50 states. So right now, what we're doing is we're actually building our games to already that standard. So, when you see our games and play our games, you'll understand, or the kids will understand and see that, they're all built and they're all structured properly to their grade level, not just age level. So, present state. Currently right now, okay. Currently right now we have several titles currently out on the Google Play Market. We started, so here's the pivot. We started going with the LMS direction, right? And for those who are in the educational world, LMS is a learning management system where a parent-child educational system is able to log on online and be able to do any type of curriculum, get reports and all those different things. That costs a lot of money. So what we decided to do is we pivoted and we said, you know what, let's utilize the apps. Why? Because kids have tablets and smartphones that they're always on. So this is an easy way to penetrate that market to actually getting directly to our consumer. So we have several games out currently, all on Google Play, and we're going through the process with iOS, Apple, as well as developing on Windows. The great thing about that is we're able to kind of get the testing with the Google Play Market, get all that all the feedback and data and information to be able to make sure that we put out a much more polished product for the releases on Google, but as well as put a much higher quality product out on the Apple Store. These are some of the brands that we have on these CelleC Games. We have MathStack, MathSlash, and Pack Learning, Factory Rush. And then we actually have our own LMS already branded, which is our K-12 e-games platform, which that's probably phase 2, 3 of 2015. We'll actually have an educational game learning management system where our games will be hosted online and kids will be able to play, as well as parents and educators get the actual reports that go in with our games. Currently right now, with MathSlash on Google Play, we already have over 15,000 downloads. Nice thing about that is we haven't really been pushing out to the market. So the nice part about that is it's kind of really growing organically on the Play Store market. So that really shows us some really good things that people are really looking and searching for, educational games for their kids. Another thing about our games, they're always free. I really believe that educational games, as well as education overall, should be free. Why? Because it's a great equalizer. It gives everyone, as far as children, a great opportunity to learn. Now, the million-dollar question is, well, Gerard, how are you going to make money? You just can't make games for free, and how are you going to fund all this stuff? Which goes to kind of some of the other stuff that we do. Our CG Solutions Group, which is our simulator division. This is our adult learning division, which works in corporations, the military, as well as medical. So, it's taking games and just translating it across a multitude of industries. And this is more of our traditional model. This is more of corporations and things of that nature where you can take policies, procedures, anything that's learning and wrap a cool, good game simulator design around it and help education. Why? Because when you engage and you immerse someone in education, you have a higher retention rate. And that's what's so pivotal and critical about training and learning today, is you want not only kids, but you want the adults to retain the information. You don't want them just to click through and know, that's our cost model, right? So we'll be doing this with corporations, companies, military contracts, etc. Now, our pipeline. Currently, both CG, which is CelleC Games, and CG Solutions Group, our reporting engine is what's going to be key critical and pivotal to our success. That reporting engine is going to be proprietary and patentable, and we're actually designing and developing that now, where all our games will have this unique reporting engine where parents can have ad hoc reporting, customized reporting, as well as standardized reporting. It's going to be based in something that's very simple, so there's going to be tons of drop downs, tons of icons, where if you're not computer savvy, it still will be easy enough for any parent to pick up and be able to understand what level their kids at. On the flip side, with the CG Solutions Group, that same engine will be utilized within the simulator world. You just have to just kind of do modifications and tweaks. That will also have a dashboard for supervisors, etc. Other projects we have currently in the pipeline, Little Picasso, that's one of our writing and reading games that we're currently working on. So what we've done is we took an analysis of the educational industry, particularly here in Orlando, Florida. And what we've learned is that math, the subject that's pretty much pivotal in a lot of careers, is the one subject that kids hate. So really right now, our focus is on math, and what I'm hearing from principals and teachers and parents is the next thing is reading and writing. So we're slowly delving into that path, figuring out cool and innovative game mechanics and ways to actually have cool education games in those arenas. Now, you'll say, well, Gerard, what separates you from Leapfrog or Elastics, things of that nature? Well, those companies are companies with PhDs and educators who try to make games, right? So, in their mind, animating a number is a game all of a sudden. Well, it's not. What we are is we are a game developer that seeks and sorts out educators who are subject matter experts and curriculum developers to say, hey, what are those concrete subjects that you're not finding good grades in, or you're finding where it's a problem spots for the majority of the students. And then we build unique games around that content. We also have other various simulators in the pipeline for CGSG. So overall, what's the future for us? Well, we're going to continue down the path of educational gaming, but we're also looking at the entertainment gaming side. We actually spawned up our actual entertainment gaming division, which is called Black Star Games. And what you guys have to understand, these are three distinctive divisions. So they're all not underneath CelleC Games, for example. CelleC Games Inc. is the holding entity, and then you have the several divisions underneath. As we develop educational games, we also develop entertainment games. That's also another cost-generating center for us. We'll be putting them out on the Xbox One network as well as the PlayStation network, and that would be for our entertainment side. So we're not really cross-blending any of the curriculum or any of the software IPs. So while we're here, one, just get the brand out, get the awareness out. Here's the thing: if you have a company and no one knows you're there, really, do you really exist? No, right? So, for us, we're looking to really get out there to the market, specifically focused in on Orlando and its counties, so Orange County, Seminole County, etc. Getting our brand out, getting social media awareness, and letting people know that we're slowly actually deploying games on all the mobile platforms for free. So if you do have kids, if you do have cousins, nephews, family members, or even friends and neighbors, this is just a great opportunity to get it out there. Those kids are already on the tablets, they're already on their phones. Why not utilize those platforms for learning? And it's a pretty cool and fun way to learn. We just came from Liberty Middle School this past weekend, where they actually had a digital festival, and we got really positive feedback from students who are awesome and are doing real good in class, as well as students who are actually having some challenges with their subject matter in school. So I believe this is important. This separates us from other countries, and we really need to focus in on education, because that's our future, and that's a way to really rebuild our market, actually rebuild Orlando, and keep talented people here, and actually bring in companies and bring in other resources. So that's kind of like my story. Once again, brand awareness, we're trying to get the word out, as well as just being able to kind of just build the brand, build the company. Any questions? Hope I didn't go too fast.
So your other companies are up and going, you're marketing the nonprofit side here, or all of it together?
Well, CelleC Games Inc. is the holding company funding for the 4 divisions. We have 4 divisions underneath CelleC Games Inc. So CelleC Games Inc. holds CelleC Games, which is the educational gaming arm.
So you know the head of EA Sports is here and is a real philanthropic, I should be volunteering him, but I don't know him very well. And it's just starting a think tank downtown, I'm sure you guys heard of this. But anyway, I'll give you his name afterwards.
Thank
You
you.
should really get with him,
Thank you.
because they're gaming for profit, and he also has a nonprofit aspect. And then the other thing is, I don't know if anyone else heard this on the way here, but what is becoming very popular in education now is group problem solving and collaborating from like first grade. And it's the German model, and the guy who's pushing this is from Cornell. And the stats are pretty impressive, so you can find out in the but I'll write it down for
Right.
you.
So that's a good point to bring up. So our games, we have phase development with our educational games, and yes, the social model is one of the development pieces within our games. So I'll give you kind of a forward-thinking approach on what we do. So we develop our games, and then we add all those other components in. So for example, with our math slash, eventually what we'll have is, let's just say Oscar is having a problem with addition. I'm knocking it out the ballpark. What will happen is, if you're playing it within the classroom, it'll give me an achievement to say, hey, go help Oscar. Oh, by the way, Oscar, here's your achievement if you partner and work with tomorrow. So now you have that in-class collaboration. So now the teacher can allow conversation to occur. Why? Because it's all about the subject matter content and not just frivolous conversation. So yeah, that's definitely
That is awesome.
part of our development strategy.
Thank God for that trend of making money and doing good.
Yes.
Since you spoke on the digital event that you did at
Living Middle School.
I think that is something that you guys should probably, host in the grand scheme of, big digital conference for education or gaming or something like that, so you can bring those two worlds and those people together and have a conference and start the digital education summit to start having it here in Orlando. So that's going to bring traffic there, that's going to bring people. It was just a thought, but, something that, hey, CelleC Games posts, and then you can highlight other people who are also trying to educate the masses through, local applications and stuff like that, with your company as well, being a trying to sell it off. I like it a lot, what you guys are doing, because I work in the middle school, and reading and writing is the kids' toughest thing. They spell everything wrong, because we're in this LOL language, I guess, what you want to call that. So there's stuff like, somebody spelled future, F-U-C-H-A. That's the problem. Future. That's the problem. And this one, I hope that's not the case. But, a game like this, and especially because, like you said, they're always sneaking on their phones, so why not, give them the internet where they can pull it out now, and it's not going to get scolded or beat down, but now it's like, oh, you're improving on your whatever? Great, keep it up, Jessica, whatever, so I like a lot.
Absolutely. So your hand up, sir.
I heard a good deal about Common Core. My 2 daughters are helping on the high school. I think much of the concern is that Common Core might dumb down some areas because New York City, New York State has some very high achieving areas, and there's probably some low here in Florida. Any way that your products could help support the higher areas?
I'm glad you brought that up. So in early phase of usability testing with our games, we notice the kids who are, scholarly, for example, just knocking out the game. So what we actually have is we have a level-based system. As we see a child actually being very successful, let's just say they're in the 2nd grade, the game will actually progress itself to 3rd grade. We keep continually adding challenge to that child who's being very, very successful. Just on the adverse end, for a child who's having problems, what the system will do is progress itself to a lower grade, give them some achievements, and then bring them into a tutorial path to say, hey, you need to look out for these different things.
Up to what grade are you fairly well developed? Because from what you just
We're in elementary school. Yeah. When it comes to middle school and high school, it gets a lot more challenging because they realize, wait a second, you want us to learn? No, I'm going to go back on Titanfall, right? So those game designs become a lot more in-depth and a lot more complicated. So right now we're focusing on K through 5th grade, especially because all 50 states need to be Common Core compliant for K through 7th grade by, I think, the end of 2015, early 2016. So that's what we're focusing on right now. Yes, ma'am?
So video games have a pretty bad rap with most parents who don't understand that and actually
example, let's just say a school doesn't have any money and they still would like to utilize our learning management system. They can, but they won't be able to track any child. So kids will always still be able to learn. Instead of the reporting engine, our proprietary reporting engine is what you're going to pay for. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Yes, sir.
Do you have, and I apologize if I missed this, I couldn't hear the whole presentation. But say a family who doesn't have a budget for a tablet or a smartphone, do you have online apps on, like, say, a family computer that the children can use?
Yeah, once we get the K-12 PDA's brand up, yes, it will be on internet. But it's not there yet currently.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Two things. Number one, with regard to the higher level learning in high school and so forth, I was introduced most importantly to my productivity at a game called the Earl Space Program. Never seen this. The written job, you can go in and edit it yourself, which to your point would be, kids are going to go learn themselves how to program. But this one actually teaches legitimate rocket science. You actually have to go through and do all of these things. I don't know if you're aware of this game or whatever. It's not the Earl Space Program, KEREAL.
That's high school level, right?
That's, as far as I'm concerned, it's PhD level. But it's funny and it's interesting and it's wasting just oceans of my time. But I have a friend called rocket school, so I know stuff. And it was all kind of waiting. Second one is, how much, with regard to the simulation side, how much development work are you doing? How much,
Glad you asked that. Currently we're going after a ton of SDIR.
which phase 1, 2, or
Phase 1. Yeah, so we have about 6 phase 1s in currently right now.
14.1 or what?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're looking at those. We go to the poll meetings. Tony Williams, he's the president of CGSG, and we go to all the poll meetings. Just establishing those relationships with key curriculum pivotal to success in that way.
Are you going to Insight this year?
Yes. Yes, I was there. We were there last year as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask how much of your product development time is kind of divided between responding to RFPs and contracts that come in, ideas, and thinking of ideas yourself, like developing from the ground up, like strategies and product lines and such, like what sort of breakdown?
So currently right now, I would say 60% of my time is looking at RFPs and looking at figuring out ways to get funding, and figuring out ways how to build commercial clients on the CGSG side, to foster that relationship with bringing funding to help support the CelleC Games vision. I have a really great team. You'll see some of the guys around, which is really, really awesome, really senior. To actually, they take simple conversations and simple white paper visions and they run off with it. So I have a really, really good development team. So it's all about them who really get the things going and done. And we really have a very agile process. We don't really stay too long in design. We always try to get a prototype out to get it to the kids to test. We currently have 3 schools that we test with: Rolling Hills Elementary and Orlando, as well as Hiawassee Elementary, and then Ampersand School is Longwood. Give us children to kind of do user tests and get their feedback early enough so we can go down the right proper path.
Just a tool follow. Do you use Rally or Jira or what? Is there an agile or
Hands
fast
off.
tracking? Which one?
And so, and we're
One
actually
more
working on
question?
our own. Sorry.
One more question for our presenter.
Quick question. Are you using like a custom platform or are you using Unity 3D?
Unity 3D. Everything we're doing is in Unity because it has a great asset store, so it saves us a lot of time in development. We're able to more like purchase certain assets versus actually creating a wheel over again.
So, again, thank you for the presentation, and I have a quick question for you. What can we as a community help CelleC Games move forward? You have already some asks. There's something specific that we can do right now, today, in the next few days to help you continue in your growth?
Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. If you have kids or you know someone with kids, if you can get with one of my guys to just get your email address, I promise you, we're not gonna, inundate you with emails. We send out 1 newsletter a month, and that's it. So,
What's the name of the app if someone wanted to share or pass around?
Oh yeah.
Those of us on Android.
Yeah. So we always start on Android. So you have Math/Factory Brush.
So those are the names
Yeah.
of the apps.
Absolutely, yeah. Those are the names, and these 2 are coming out this week. MathStack and Path Learning. This is a parity learning game. This is for K through 2nd grade, where all it is for kids to understand shapes, understand odds and evens, and things of that nature. MathStack is a comprehensive math game where they're just associating the equation to the solution. So the big thing with Common Core, going back to that, is that it's knowledge and understanding. That's one of the principles, understanding what solutions work, what equations, and the relationships of it. So that's what we did in MathStack. And then we have Math Slash, which was pretty much using the Fruit Ninja game mechanic for the parents who know Fruit Ninja. All it is swiping. So we give you the solution, and the kids have to swipe through the equations to be able to figure it out.
Should be able to type in CelleC Games. And
Correct, yes. If you type in CelleC Games in Google Play as well as iTunes, it'll pop up the games.
Again, thank you very much. They're here, so give them your
I'm your infomercial for today. Thank you again, CelleC. I kept calling your company CelleC.
That's
I got it all confused, so sorry about that.
No problem.
We just have a couple announcements like we always do. Again, we just want to make sure that everyone familiarizes themselves with East End and share your love with East End Market for them allowing us the space here. Patron their Facebook's downstairs, take a look, everything there is awesome. I just bought Lineage coffee for the first time today. I never did, and it was like $1.60. I thought it was much more expensive. So anyway, Lineage Coffee Roaster Supervisor Coffee for us. Joy Caster, we always want to thank for live streaming and recording our session. So if you ever can't make it, I'm not here, but if you can't make it, they're available for live streaming. Again, we always want to make a note for everyone who's new. We do have some parking regulations, so we can't really park in the side where it's easy access to get into here because we're taking up parking for the normal patrons. So they ask that we park in the back and along the sides. Any notices that we want to send out or about the parking or anything else that's going on, we're going to send it out through email. It's usually the day before. We'll send you a reminder. I got my email reminder and it came into my spam. So it made me think that might be happening to you. So if you could check your spam if you are an email subscriber and just make sure that they're coming through. That's where we can give you updates on what's going on and changes. I think we might have a venue change. Email, let's see. Oh, there's a CEO event tonight that's put on by Rollins. It's at Blackfin, is that right?
At the Blackfin Restaurant.
Blackfin
It's by
Restaurant.
the CEO student in line, so it's for anyone here is invited.
That's happening tonight at 6:30. And then also, we also like to just mention again about Starter Studio. I just learned this too about Starter Studio. I know you guys are all pretty familiar with them. What I didn't know about their program, which helps entrepreneurs in the startup community, and I
I'm Fredo Kings. I'm a local ecstasy poet. I belong to an art collective called Family Gang. I also am an ambassador of art and music culture. This is my partner, Dizzle Funk. He also happens to be my space hop DJ.
I'm Dylan Funk. I'm from Ohio, and I came down here for Full Sail. Decided to be a DJ, do the music thing. So I went ahead and graduated. Ronnie, go ahead and skip it a couple. Skip that one, do this one. I started this thing called CelleC City, which is it was an artist network, originally a showcase with all local artists, MCs, poets, bands. And I was doing that for about a year and a half all by myself. I was like, man, this is a lot of work. I finally met Fredo Kings on the street. I said, Fredo, I need you to action, help me out. So together we combined forces and we started CelleC City, of course, and that's our giant network. And through that, we formed the Family Gang. And what's the Family Gang, Fredo?
Well, the Family Gang, primarily, like I said, I'm a poet MC, and Dizzle's a DJ. So we needed a platform to promote ourselves. So we joined up, started CelleC City, and through that we formed our art collective, which is also happens to be a rock, hip hop, funk band, which kind of spearheaded our movement. And like Dizzle said, it started every Monday night as a variety show at 57 West, which is closed down right now. We did that for 3 years, and through that we were able to establish an artist network and friends and family of local artists, bands, poets, rappers, even comedians. Just a little bit of a smorgasbord of local Orlando music and art culture. So basically what we're here today is to catch you up on what we've been doing and our awesome event that we started last year called Smashington.
Rod, just switch the slide for us, please. So through our artist network and the Family Gang, we realized we had a problem. We were stuck in Orlando. It was hard to reach out to everybody. So we wanted to come up with more consumer awareness so the Family Gang and all the artists on our network could expand, of course, be famous or get that money or whatever you want to call it. So our solution was Smashington, which is our festival, uniting everybody that we've worked with for the past 3 or 4 years and putting them on this platform to show them what our city's all about. Next slide, Mr. Brown.
So what is Smashington? You want to describe that? Well, Smashington, of course, is a festival. But there's a lot of festivals in Orlando, there's a lot of festivals in Florida. What we want to do is compartmentalize everything and make it a marketplace. Because what really is going on in Orlando that we get to witness is that there's a disconnect with content. There's a lot of talent in Orlando, but people seem to not be connected to the content. So what that happens is that us as artists don't have a real industry. We're basically stuck just doing covers and playing the local venues. So with Smashington and again, bringing everything centralized, what we do is, every festival has their ticket, and this is basically the promotional tool that's going to get you, flyers are important, of course, and posters, but the ticket is actually going to get you to the show and make you a consumer. And what we do is we make custom tickets for each artist. We have 60 artists this year. Last year we did 50 artists. That was able to bring us a little over 600 people, which is a small number, but what we're trying to do is expand that. So this year we did 60 artists. We wanted to do a little bit more, but we're going to grow incrementally. So what they do is they're going to have 30 of these custom tickets. They're going to go out and sell it to their fans, their small fans. And relatively, when an artist starts out, they have a small fan base of their friends and family. What that does is those 30 people are going to come out. They're going to actually experience a show. And with this ticket, they get the entrance and an opportunity to get either a CD, a t-shirt, or a single, some type of content that they can take home with them and experience a little bit of the artist, a little close and personal. And then in the hopes, when they come out to do that with their local band, they're going to stick around, see the other acts, and also get some content. So that's really the difference between our festival. That's what we're trying to bring to Orlando, is that real consumer awareness, and in the hopes of all of us having a smaller fan base, because the goal is to maybe hopefully get to maybe 3,000 to 5,000 people at this event in about 5 years. And what that's going to do is each band that belong and partners up with us, they're going to allow to have a real fan base of maybe 300 to 400 people that they can go out and promote local shows meet up in Smashington again. So that's the idea, but we need help. We need help to promote it. We need help to.
Like Fredo was saying, last year we did over 30 acts. We had local vendors, print media. We were fans with the Orlando Weekly. This year, our goal is to double that size, double the attendees. We have Red Bull as a main sponsor. We've been working with the art starter, Mr. Nice, Brian, and Pamela over there. Give them a round of applause. So they've been helping us along the way. Next slide, please, Mr. Ron. So what do we need from you? Fredo, what do we need from the good people?
We need investors, but that just doesn't mean money, of course. What that means is your time, your energy, and your real support. We need sponsors. That's corporate guys, corporate companies, anybody that wants to have more holistic approach with their brand and they want to connect with the artists locally. If you have a brand like that, that you think they can team up with local artists.
And not just corporate either, anybody who wants to get involved. You know, if you have a coffee shop, a restaurant, we'll help you out, you help us out.
And of course, the most important thing that we do this for is community support. Orlando's a beautiful city, but we are also a very transient city, so everybody's always leaving and coming. So that can be a positive thing for us if people leave Orlando and they leave with our art, music, culture, and they bring it to other places. Hence, you know, we get a lot more attention and our city gets to thrive. So I guess that's what we're basically here today, is to ask you guys to spread this, tell everybody. We're going to give you guys each a free ticket to come out. This is VIP, complimentary, so you're a very important person. Okay? We need you to come help out. And that's basically it. You know, we're still in our infancy. We're growing. We need help. We need ideas. We need this on everybody in Family Games. Do not have egos, because we know that the ego kind of blocks you from really growing and expanding. So this is all our ideas, really, you know, as a community to help. So that's about it.
Just switch it to the last slide, Ron, and we'll have our contact info. One more.
You didn't say Mr. Ron, that's not good.
Mr. Ron, ladies and gentlemen, you can contact us at CelleC.com, Facebook, Twitter. That's our email. I'm Dizzle Funk. This is Fredo Beans.
And this is our family game. These are all of our awesome fan supporters. We go on a bus trip every couple months. We're going actually to Daytona. So stay in contact with us. Not only come out to Smashington in May, but come out to some of the Family Game shows. I'm pretty sure we'll all be having a great time at those events. So come join us.
That's it.
Question?
You guys have a media kit available for sponsors or investors?
Absolutely. We can get you all that information, sir. Absolutely.
Here, guys, here's some free tickets.
So what does this Washington event look like? Is it a music festival with artists?
Yes, this is something I should have explained. Discount Music Center. I don't know if you guys ever drive down I-4 over by the jail. I'll cross the street from the jail. Discount Music Center. It's a good landmark to know. I've never been there. So basically, Discount Music Center is one of our sponsors. A lot of the bands use Discount Music Center, of course, for equipment, but they're also a rehearsal place. So they let us use the whole entire facility. So we're going to have 3 stages. One stage is basically an old school hip hop block party with graffiti, buses, a sticker wall, linoleum for B-boys, and that would be the hip hop side of it. It's a conscious side of hip hop. You know, sometimes hip hop is misconstrued with a lot of commercialism and gangsterism and stuff like that. The local hip hop acts here are all conscious, beautiful artists. So come check them out. Then we have a singer-songwriter stage that'll also be outside. That's for acoustic acts and smaller singer-songwriter, singers and stuff like that. Then we have the big stage inside the venue, which would be all the headliners like Kelly Baker, Family Game, Drew Yardage, and I can't even go through all the other, but a lot of awesome local bands that have big fan bases will all be part of it too. So that's basically it. Discount Music Center on the inside.
Corner John Young Lee Road for I-4.
Yeah. So, any other questions? Yes, sir.
Do any of your static artists, people who play trips and such, have a setup where they can bring in other individuals that are not live in a group? You can have that one piece or other.
Absolutely. And that's another thing I should have mentioned. Not only is it bands, of course I kind of center around that because I'm in a band, but we also have, there'll be an area for actual paint artists, sculpture artists, or any type of artist that want to, be part of the event too and display.
Any kind of business, not just artists too.
Absolutely.
Is this a family-friendly event, or is this really an adult-only event?
It's It's an all-age event. Any kids under 10 will
Yeah.
be allowed. Yeah, for free. There is alcohol on the premises, it's just going to be beer and wine. It'll be served inside, it won't be outside, so absolutely a family event. We wouldn't be family again if it wasn't a family. And hence, you know, the reason why we dress up and the costume, of course, is an entertainment thing, but, you know, it's about exploring your imagination and being connected to that, especially because we're from Disney, right? You know, Orlando has been connected to the mouse for a lot of years, so Dizzle Funk's
We're
t-shirt.
taking away from the mouse.
If you look at Disney Funk's t-shirt, we definitely give kudos to Disney and stuff like that. So that's the whole pilot theme and stuff like that. So they're metaphors for being a pilot too. Some of us should know about, but we'll talk about that later.
Have you thought about kind of adding, well, I have two questions. So have you thought about adding a component where speakers would come out? So maybe, you know, I'm not a poet per se, I'm a rapper or whatever, but I can give you a heck of a motivational speech to change your life, or even just kind of like a little oratorical piece.
That would be more catered towards a different event. We do these events where it's more like a discussion panel where people like that, like say the Art Starter, or Mr. Rob over here, radio personality, man of all talents over here, that's Rob. They'll come out and speak. So we would cater to that as opposed to, you know, you don't want to just interrupt the music festival, everybody's having a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, blah, 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 you know, we just kind of set that to something else.
But if you want to do some poetry, we're welcome to come out and poetry.
Right. And then how do you kind of hope to, I guess, like knock out the South by Southwest people? Because that's what this sounds like it wants to turn into eventually.
We don't want to knock it out, but South by Southwest is awesome, right, Connor?
And also, again, the pure difference, we are calling this the Smashington Festival, but what it really is a marketplace for consumer awareness. What I explained earlier is that in Orlando and a lot of cities, is there's a disconnect with talent and content, okay? Talent is someone that can sing great, you go out and hear them sing or perform, but if you're not connecting to their content, then you're not creating a real industry. What I mean by content is music, merchandise, right? These things that like people connect to with their artists. Like I went to go see, let's say Bob Marley, right, when he was alive, right? You would go see him for his content, not just because he was a great singer. And that's the disconnect in Orlando. So Florida Music Fest is a great festival, but it's just a festival, right? It's you come out and you check music acts, and then you leave, you go home. With this ticket, and also the tickets that they sell for Florida Music Festival, is just in my back pocket. There, if you have one, and you can kind of look at it, even though it says complimentary on it, these are customized tickets. They're going to say the band's name. They're going to have a picture of the band. So now when a fan gets this, or family or supporter, they're going to have a personal connection with this, and they know when they show up, they're also going to get a piece of content, which is very important. If your fan's not going home and listening to your music, they really have no reason to come out and check you out, unless they're just coming to see you sing, right? And does that make sense? That makes sense? Where I'm going with that, 'cause sometimes that gets lost, and I wanted to make that point. It's not just a festival, it's a marketplace for consumer awareness, so that hopefully people start actually spending money on this artist instead of just spending money on tickets, or going to a show, or you show up to a bar and somebody's playing covers, which is great, but for a real artist, that doesn't ever create a livelihood. And like what Dizzle said about fame and stuff, we're in a world right now where you can drop your song on YouTube and be famous in a small market, okay? You can make $50,000 to $100,000 a year as an artist, maybe not be on MTV and the radio, but you can make a real livelihood for yourself. And that's what's not going on in Orlando for a lot of artists. And we get this because we're artists. We get to talk to our artist friends, and this is stuff that they bring to us. So last year we did have a regular festival, but this year we're making it a marketplace. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
If you're giving away content like actual tangible collateral, how do you if you're giving them concrete?
We don't give it away. The artists, every artist is supposed to have a
They're
CD.
donating their
Well, for $10,
their
right?
people.
Right. For $10, you're gonna get maybe a CD for like $2 or $3, right? And then you're paying $8 to actually go see them perform. So it's included in the $10. They get to keep full profit on those tickets also. They have to bring out 30 people, of course, but that's where they make their money, is by selling tickets and including their content in with the ticket. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Prince. Prince was doing this as an idea. he would sell his ticket to the concert, right, and then include a CD. So now he has awesome sales at the concert, and he also has a CD sale that he can hopefully, you know, register at Billboard or whatever. So the idea is hopefully to get up maybe in 5 years to 5,000, right? And these 30 artists that they started with get up to 200 or 300, and that's a sustainable amount of money right there. 300 times 10 is $3,000, right? And if you're giving out a free CD that's costing you 25 cents to make, and you're making $3, that's a hell of a profit, right? Sorry for my age. But that's
I was
really
just
what.
wondering, like, if you wouldn't give away a digital download. I don't
They're
know
allowed
if
to
it's
do that.
also-
They're
not
absolutely
It's their
necessarily
call, they can
digital.
give a shirt, a CD, a sticker, it's totally up to them what they want to do.
But it's very important for them to have some type of content. Because again, what we want them to do is leave the festival and say, wow, I met Family Game, I met Kelly Baker. Oh, Kelly Baker's gonna be on a bill in 3 weeks. You know what? Since I had this experience, I'm gonna go see her show now and then continue to go out. So that's really the idea, you know, is come in, learn about us, take home the content, get connected with it, and then re-engage and become a real consumer. You know what I
So
mean?
it's not just entertainment, it's engaging so that you can.
Keep coming back, being interested in what it is.
Yeah.
So like,
And create culture in our lives. Absolutely.
Is it safe to assume that one of the other benefits for each individual artist that they might gain some other fans from like
Absolutely.
cross,
That's
so they might sell some more CDs at the event?
Hence starting a real scene in Orlando, right? Because again, a lot of people just go out to shows based on talent. Wow, I heard Kelly Baker sing. She's an incredible singer. Does anybody know Kelly Baker in here? Okay, can anybody say right now, off the top of their head, a Kelly Baker song? And you were some WB Arcade. That's not taking anything away from Kelly Baker. She's an incredible singer. But Orlando is not connected to her content. Therefore, they're not becoming real consumers, right? They're just becoming attendees at a show. So that's what we're trying to do. This might work, like it might not work, but it's
gonna work.
progressive. That's why I have you in my life.
Seems like a lot of people aren't really using CDs anymore.
Yeah.
You guys transitioning more out of that, is it down?
I think that's what she's saying. Yeah, we have digital download cards. Some artists are deciding to do that. But the CD, surprisingly, there are a lot of consumers that, you know, they're
They like that physical copy.
and also it's about the packaging too, right? Some artists are going out of their way. Macklemore is an artist. I study a lot of this stuff, so I'm gonna throw these names out. He had this awesome CD with like this leather kind of like snake skin feel. So that's what I tell the artists too. You know, don't just drop a CD. Drop an emotional piece of content that people are gonna have that connection with it, where they're gonna want to take it, you know, store it, become, you know, connected with it versus just, you know, a
It's like
CD.
something you hang on the wall.
Yes, exactly.
We have questions in the back.
Go ahead.
This kind of sounds like almost like a brand management company, you know, where you're taking an artist and you can even mold them and say, hey, you know, maybe this could be another generator of income. And you say, hey, you are a powerful singer, actor, whatever you do, you know, poet, but you don't know how to brand yourself. Let's, through our company, mold you and form something so now you can go out so that some people just don't know how to market themselves.
Right, that's why we do it. That's the whole point of our artist network, to kind of teach people, not necessarily motivate, but give them the knowledge and say, this is what you need to do, this is how you do it, now it's up to you to do it. You know, we can only push them so far, but you're right, that's exactly what we're doing.
But what he's also saying too is we have our award ceremony, which is what you were talking about earlier, like guest discussion. I think we haven't had it this year, but the year before last we had Justin Stroud from the Orlando Weekly, and we had Rob was out there, a couple magazines, local, so they were out kind of helping with that. Dina mentioned something similar to that too. I think that's something for the future for us. You're absolutely right. Just right now, there's not a real consumer base. So for me to tell an artist how to brand themselves, I have to have like a consumer base. Like, yo, this is your consumer base. They're hip-hop hippies. They're gonna love you. You should sing about this, right? That's it. But we're just not at that level yet. We mostly just have a lot of talent right now. And we're trying to connect to y'all in Orlando. And then after that, we can kind of, you know, do that, help and look like a record label, music group or something. Yes, and I will be.
So my question actually piggybacks off of that. Are you guys, where do you end as far as you provide the platform so that, you know, you can get people to come and engage with artists, but, you know, engagement
soul of the city. They're like my little brothers and, you know, other artists that I've kind of connected with. So we help them a little bit more because they have more of a direction where we see. So that's where it kind of goes from there. Again, a lot of the artists, I would say the artists on this bill, about 40% of them are ready to take that next step. The rest of them are still establishing a fan base outside of their friends and family circle, right? There's a strong number, right? If you can bring 30 people, you can bring 50 people, you can bring 100, that's great, right? But that still revolves around your close network of people, friends and family. When you get to about 150 people who come out to your shows, you're actually expanding outside of that network, unless you had a crazy family that had kids or something. But that's the type of people that we're trying to bring to this event, because what happens is, like, you bring 30 people out, those 30 people come to see you, but the chances of them staying for another talented act is a high percentage. So when they leave Smashington, if you, like a Kaylee Baker, I was talking, she probably can pull maybe 600 to 1,000 people. Maybe another 150 people got to connect to Kaylee at this event that she didn't have before. It's an incremental step, but it's actually adding to her fan base. And then for a smaller group that started with 30, now they have 70 fans or 100 fans. So they can take that, it's up to them, because we don't have the power or the man structure to help them outside of that. But when they leave, they are supposed to have their email list, they're all supposed to have this dialogue with the people they connected at Smashington, and then take that to like the social, or take that to the back group, right? Do a smaller show, continue to build their fan base, so when Smashington comes back around, instead of them 30 fans, now they got 150, 200 real fans, right? Real consumers. So that's the idea. Well, if they do, then we're going to help them a lot more, because you have to have that initiative as an artist. You know, again, a lot of people are talented, but to take that next step to be a professional working artist is a whole other caliber person. You know, being an entrepreneur, you know, establish yourself, this whole people relationship thing. So a lot of artists don't do that, but this is at least a platform for them to try that out, right? And get their feedback.
What are you doing to collect, like, emails and communication from people? And how do you?
On our website, on the CelleC, if you go there, we have a registration, put your name,
Do
your
they
email.
have to register to go to the event?
No, you don't have to, but at the front door, we have an email list, we have our door ladies, you have to
So
sign
it's
an
like
email.
voluntary, or?
Yeah, and then every artist at the merch table, every artist is supposed to bring a merch table, and they're supposed to have the same thing, an email list, so you can say,
So I'm just thinking, like, when you're selling tickets, usually ticket sales are done a lot now, like online, like through Eventbrite or Ticketmaster, whatever, and there's always, in order to buy the ticket, you're putting in some kind of contact information, and then now you're building a database to continually communicate with these people. So even if the artist who, you know, maybe got you these 30 people, maybe they fall off or they don't do the next show, but you could still keep those fans because you've got all their communication.
exactly, so
their
when those
contact
fans come into the
information.
front door, the first thing they do is give them the ticket and have the email list.
If they choose to. A lot of people don't want to sign up to an email list. Another thing, like the ticket fly thing works, but you have to have a real supply and demand for that type of, or demand for it. We have a supply, but there's not really a demand yet for it. The artists really have to hit the streets and, you know, force people to buy into the ticket, because it's, you know, it's a community event still. So a lot of people that are coming out, I would say about 60% are just coming, like I said, friends and family to support. And the other 40% are bands that are like us, that have real fans that are coming to consume music, right?
Yeah.
So that got a little touchy with people. A lot of people don't like signing up with emails because they don't want to get bombarded with spam and stuff like that. So it has to be somebody that's just really into, and they'll go out of their way. We'll get their emails at the front door, the website and stuff like that. But yeah, absolutely.
I think it's just, I mean, with every show you do and however you meet people, you gotta be collecting, you know, their emails or some way to keep engaging with them and keep promoting to them. So it should be something that isn't as optional. Like when I buy something on Ticketmaster, it's not optional for me, but I have to give them my email address. I can opt out of their emails later, but I have to provide it. So maybe you can do, or something incentive based where they buy one ticket, but if they register online, they'll get a free ticket to bring a friend or something, so that it's an incentive for them to provide their email address. You want to keep communicating with
We could also probably do, that's a good idea, maybe on the back of the ticket, have like a register there, so when they turn in their ticket, it's already on there. We can just have our staff go through all those details.
One last question.
Yeah, over here.
Yes.
Maybe you mentioned it, so you're talking about already established artists or
Half and half, about 40%. And I say established loosely, like I said, like a Kaylee Bay or something with 4,000 people.
how do you know, how do you manage, like, some level of quality so you won't have crazy people doing really crazy stuff?
We want crazy people doing crazy stuff. We just gotta keep it, censored, you know, we tell the artists, because this is a family event, so we just make sure that everything is censored, they're not cussing, they're not like, you know, pulling a Lady Gaga and going up on the person there. So we know the artists, most of the artists we all know, or the people that we're working with know them, so we have an idea of who they are and what they're gonna do.
What about newcomers? People who are out of number, that is
Yeah.
like, hey, I can sing, I want to sing, let me sing.
We don't really deal with a lot of those artists because, you know, like the place players, we had that open mic for about 2-3 years. So we've established a nice network of artists that we know kind of, you know, where they are. We do get some new artists, and then we have like, we have a show called The Anonymous, which is just that. Nobody really knows anybody. I have a few headliners, and it's new acts. I get to, you know, try them out, see who they're bringing out, see what they kind of sound like. So I definitely do that before we move them on to the big festival, so that, yeah, we don't get Lady Gaga thrown out.
Right, so thank you very much for your presentation, and we as a community want to continue to help you. So you already have a few asks of us. What, something tangible or specific that you guys want to reach out to the community here and our friends further out? What can we do for you guys?
I mean, like we said, the community support is the biggest thing. You know, if you're a business or you're just starting up and you want to get involved, help us out. We'll throw your name and logo on all our flyers and pass them out. But besides that, if you can go on, tweet us, share our info. We started the Art Starter, so that's like a fundraising campaign. So if you donate 10, 20, 100, $500, you get something for that. So you get a ticket, a T-shirt, a sponsorship. So if you check out the Art Starter, that's a way to help us out. You can just straight donate and you'll get something for your time and your effort.
And what Dizzle said, there is a nice, awesome package for $500 that we're looking for team members to be part of CelleC City. It's not really like, we're not going to give you shares in the company or nothing like that, because we don't have that established, but we're going to give you insight knowledge, and if you want to be a partner and help us on an event like this, because that's basically, you know, some of the type of money we used to invest, that's where we invented that magic number 500. And also, please hashtag, it's real simple, Smashington
2014.
We'll put it up there later. Smashington 2014, that'd probably be the number one thing.
Thank you very much, guys. Real quick, a couple announcements that we need to plug in. Next Friday, end of March, we're hosting the first social Orlando Startup Weekend event. It's filling up nicely. We're getting a great diversity of individuals coming. It's going to be at Rollins College, not this coming Friday, a week from. So if you haven't gone, check it out. Ask me some questions. I'll be happy to tell you about it. The day before that, on Thursday, there's a new event being launched at UCF in order to assist and help people that want to get involved in the social enterprise. Social enterprises do well so you can do good. So think about it from that standpoint. And so, Diane, raise your hand back there. She'll be happy to tell you a little bit more. Her son is involved in launching that really cool event at UCF the day before, and hopefully get people really pumped and ready for the event the next day. So that's a great, again, way of linking our efforts. At the end of the month, March 31st is the Athena Orlando deadline to sign up for women-owned businesses. It's an amazing opportunity if it's a women-owned business. Sign up. You have to be in business for more than 2 years and have $500,000 in revenues. But that will be like lighting a rocket to your back and growing your company exponentially, because the brain power around it is just phenomenal. So tag into that. Diane has one other event that she'll talk to you as well about. If you're a hacker and you enjoy hackathons, reach her as well. She'll talk to you about another civic-minded opportunity. And last but not least, at the end of May, again at Rollins, you guys rock, by the way. We're going to be hosting the first ever Lean Startup Machine event in Florida and in Orlando in particular. So it seems to be a really cool thing. If you want to know more about it, find me. Last but not least, a little bit of housekeeping. Pick up your bottles and your cups, put them in the trash behind you. It will make our life a lot easier. See you next week. Bring friends.